Welcome into the Fit Parent Podcast. I'm Jeff Delzell. I'm here with Amy.
Hello.
And I told Amy before we started, buckle up. Because I'm gonna rant
Woo!
It's gonna be a Jeff rant episode. That was not the plan. I'm gonna be straight with you. Twasn't the plan. Going into the week. Honestly, you might not believe it with how this goes. I actually do plan these episodes oftentimes significantly in advance.
Yeah, you have notes.
I have notes, or I at least know what we're going to discuss, or I have like a thought that is going to be the father of the episode sort of thing.
Shockingly,
And
I do not know what the episodes are going to be, so you and I are learning together.
But so I'll tell you what the plan was for today. And we will still do this sort of. Well, I'll find a way to include it in what I'm doing. Actually, it's not going to be that difficult. The plan was I'm about halfway through my cut.
Woo! How's it going?
And well, that'll be what we'll discuss. Part of it is
jumping the gun.
No, you're fine. I'll be not exceptionally, not horribly, not exceptionally.
Horribly.
But I was going to give a little bit more of a detailed update. I will not give a detailed update on necessarily progress thus far in the same way that I normally would. However, I will give a more of a detailed update in terms of process-wise, how I've been doing, but also give context for all of that. But there's a couple things that have happened that I would like to get off my chest.
Do it, sir.
First of all, this has nothing to do with anything else that we're going to talk about. I just would like to complain about it momentarily.
Please do.
I hate it here.
Oh my God.
I hate it here.
I can hate it here right now. I'm
This
so
is,
mad
like,
at winter.
February is like I forget. I don't know if I've like realized how much I hate February, but I'm realizing more and more. February is because I actually don't hate snow.
No, I like snow.
I hate snow in February.
Yes.
Because I'm over it. The novelty of winter is gone, and then February is always the worst month for snow.
Yeah, we got slammed this month.
And I no longer get the benefit of snow. Like when we used to teach, it was like, all right, class half full, snow day. Now, snow days are just a big old kick in the pants.
Yes, they are.
Because we're stuck at home with these three little gremlins.
And you have to shovel and or snowblow.
Well, so this is the other thing is I have nowhere left to put the snow.
Huh?
I have nowhere. The fence at the end of my driveway is a 5-foot tall fence. The snow is above the fence. I have nowhere left to put it. It is just unbelievable. And I went out, so it was like a blizzard yesterday.
Yeah, like a true nor'easter. It was awful.
It was blowing everywhere. It was craziness. So I went outside in like the middle of the day to try to clear it because whenever the last one we had, I didn't do a mid thing clear. And I wanted to do it earlier in the day. I just didn't have the time with how the day went. Because Megan and I are also both trying to run businesses while all three of our kids are home and it's school vacation and the daycare's closed. And so we're just taking shifts. It's like, okay, I'll do this call, then you go work for an hour, then I'll do a call, then you'll do a call, then we're just going back and forth all morning. Neither of us is getting anything done. And that's just how it was. And I can't even bring the kids outside because it was so nuts.
So miserable.
And I had my ski mask on and goggles like I was going down a mountain. I haven't worn those in 6 years because I haven't gone snowboarding in 6 years. But I went up and I'm clearing it, and it was a pain in the butt to do all of that. But then I go out this morning because it wasn't done snowing by the time I went to bed last night. So I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning because I had to teach the 6 a.m. class. which 4 people showed up to. And I was like, I should have just canceled it. But I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning to go clear it, and my snowblower just no longer wants to throw snow. Just is getting clogged. I don't know if it's because the snow is too thick or...
It was very heavy. I was shoveling.
It worked yesterday, so I don't understand why, whatever. And so I was just getting really irritated. And then also my street, they never plow my street really well. And it's usually like 6 feet in front of my driveway is the closest they've come. And so I have to like snow blow 6 feet out in front of my driveway into the road so that my mailbox has access and all this kind of stuff. But they actually like did last night for some reason do it. But they did it last night after I had already mostly cleared it. There was only 2 or 3 inches of snow left. So I could have just driven over it, but there was a 3.5 foot wall of ice at the end of my driveway, and my snowblower's not working. So at 4:15 this morning, I'm out there shoveling that in the pitch black.
Yep.
And then also because my fence is so full of snow, I can't snow blow the snow yesterday over the fence. And so there's a 4-foot delta of snow out from the snowbank or from the back of the yard from the fence because I couldn't get it. I was like, I got to try to shovel this over there. And that's blocking the van from being able to get out. So then this morning I go to try to clear it when I get back from the gym so that I could see if we could get the van out. Can't do it. So then we got to take shuttle runs to drop the kids off where they're going in the other car because there's only one car seat in the other car. And then I come back and I'm shoveling this stuff and it's heavy and whatever it is. And that was my whole morning. So this is literally the first thing I've done today besides shovel, monitor children, and then teach my class. And I haven't even touched my front walkway yet. That may just live that way.
It might, because we're gonna get another couple inches tomorrow.
Yeah, which I'm just anyway.
I'm mad at winter.
I don't like it here. I'm over it, and I'm frustrated.
Yep.
So that is potentially, I'm not gonna say for sure, that is potentially influencing my other frustrations.
Today's topic.
My other frustrations. But I did a post about this yesterday. And it's something that I want to go deeper into because I was like, I'm going to make a series of posts kind of along this topic. I did a post a couple of days ago, sometime last week, 12-second long video, fairly lighthearted.
I liked it. I thought it was very cute.
That was, don't have your kids be your alarm
clock.
Because how do you feel when your alarm clock goes off? You're just like, this sucks. Like, you're like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. You're like, beat the thing. Or the Grinch in the Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch where he just chucks it over the edge. Just don't want to wake up in the morning. And it's a lot easier to parent if you're not waking up and your first thought when you wake up is these damn kids won't sleep in, And so I've done it for a long time, but I've just been that much more consistent with it in the last 6 months or so of being like, I will wake up regardless of how tired I am. I'm going to get out of bed. Whether or not I get a workout in, I've been trying to get workouts in, but if I don't get a workout in, but at least I'm going to have my breakfast. So I'm not trying to still need to get my breakfast in. I'm going to have a quiet time. I'm just going to sit for a minute or two before they come down. So then I'm going in, not groggily, sleepily into it and frustrated because they're, who knows what mood they're going to wake up in and all of this. And so again, it was meant to be lighthearted, but also maybe a useful tip. Use it or don't. I didn't say wake up and do a 5-hour morning routine. I was just like, just give yourself a minute before. It's like when you get home from work at the end of the day and you just sit in your car for a minute or two before you go in. You just give yourself a moment to just be before you immediately step into peak chaos, and it's a positive return on time. You will be, even though you're exhausted, you're not going to be less exhausted if you sleep for another 5 minutes. But your day might be different if you take those 5 minutes or 20 or whatever it is. For me, I generally wake up an hour ahead of time.
Yeah, I've done that since I was born. I've always gotten up before her so that I have time to be a person.
Be a person without the responsibility. And this is what I've said about, and I said it on here, which was I work out in silence because that's my moment in the day. Like that time from when I wake up, it's 4:30 is when my alarm goes off. And I hate that it's 4:30. Like, don't get me wrong. I do not like waking up at 4:30. But the ability for me to get up and get a workout in, and I'm like sleepwalking through most of my workout, having my breakfast, my quiet time, whatever it is. But that time is, I'm a human. Like I am a person with thoughts that are not just, because even on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I'm out of the house before the kids wake up, I leave my house at 5:30 to get to the gym, and I come home immediately when I walk in the door. All 3 kids are asking for something. And Megan has been like, we're trying to train them, like, don't just ask for something, like let person walk in and transition. But like, they're like, can you, because we were in desperation yesterday trying to keep everybody entertained. We're just printing coloring pages from my computer, and Megan's computer doesn't hook up to the printer. And so she could use mine, but she was just like, we're just going to wait till daddy gets home to do printing this morning. So as soon as I walk in, they're like, can you print me a Lugia? Can you print me a Mewtwo? Can you print me a unicorn? And so I just have, these are empty, but I have just like empty coloring pages kicking around. And that's just, hey, can I have a shake? Can I have a snack? Can I have breakfast? And I'm also sitting there being like, I got to go outside and clear the driveway because it's covered in snow. And I don't know how we're going to get everybody out of the house. And I don't know why the snowblower's not working. And all of that's happening. And so that's just immediately. And that was from 7 to 10. And now I have to start work. And as soon as I'm done work today, like literally I have to run out, grab the boys, take them to a haircut, get their haircut, grab Charlie, come home, make dinner. Like that's the day.
Yeah.
That's the whole personality of the day. And so having that moment is incredibly valuable. And for the most part, the response was overall positive.
Yeah, but I thought it was adorable.
Yes.
Yes, it was adorable.
No, yes, the response was positive. But I've noticed this has happened, and I've had various posts get various degrees of traction on the internet. Obviously, I've had the bonkers ones with I'm not a babysitter, I'm their dad, and another one where muscle jiggles too. Like those are the 2 ones like in the millions. I had another couple. I had the one that I shared about Megan's experience at the OBGYN with BMI. I don't know if you remember that one, but like,
oh, I do.
And I had to turn off comments on that one because of what was happening. And I've had a few of these where once it gets further and further outside of the circle of the right people, you start to get to the wrong people who the more, and everybody wants to go, not everybody, but a lot of people, particularly in my industry, would want to go viral. They would be like, oh man, I got 35,000 views or whatever it is. And I'm like, guys, this has moved the needle of my business 0. It's changed my life none at all. I was interviewed by Newsweek, and that changed exactly nothing. I've got no clients as a result of doing that, which is fine. I was happy to do it, but it's not the point. And so I had this kind of get a good amount of traction, but I start to get into the further reaches. And I got a comment. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but I got a comment on it that was like, anytime I see somebody post something like this, I know they don't have
kids under 5.
Kids under 5. And I don't know if he said 3 kids under 5 or just kids under 5. Let me double check because I thought it was.
I think it was just kids under 5.
Yeah, doesn't have multiple kids. Every time someone suggests this, I know they don't have multiple kids under 5, was the comment.
Yeah.
Which is hysterical. Which is hysterical. If they had literally just clicked on my page.
2 seconds looking into you. Like most
yeah.
My God.
And there's a thing kind of going around on the internet right now of like, you think I don't know ball.
Oh, I never knew what that meant until you used it in context. I'm like, oh, thank you for that.
You think I don't?
The more you know.
Like, so and so knows ball is, for phrasing, is you get somebody who's talking about a sport and they have like a depth of knowledge and they say something that's really well thought out. So one of the more famous people that kind of gets this expression about her, this is oftentimes, unfortunately, used for women who speak in sports. But it can be for men and whatever it is. But the most common one, there's a woman named Mina Kimes, who is an ESPN NFL reporter. And she's brilliant. Like one of the sharpest analysts in the industry. And she's this little petite Asian woman and from the Pacific Northwest. And so you get people like, if you look at her, you wouldn't think, and then she just starts spitting game that she deeper dive than, and I'm a fairly well-versed sports fan and football fan. And I go, she starts talking about like 2 deep shell, 44 cover. And I'm like, Mina is breaking down tape. Like Mina knows ball. That's the phrase. It's like she gets it.
Yeah.
And so people will make assumptions about other people as, hey, you don't know ball because you don't really know what's going on. And so this is a little bit of like, you don't know ball. Like, you don't know what I'm going through. And I'm like, dude, I still have multiple kids 5 and under. I had 3 kids under 2. Like, I will raise you. And I'm not saying that that's like a badge of honor, but like, let's not sit here and pretend that I haven't had some experiences that is, we'll call it, in the minority of people have had 3 kids under 2, 3 or more kids under 2 or under 3 at any given time. And we went through that, and that was our experience. But this was the best part. So then I didn't talk about this in the post that I did yesterday. So I replied back and I said, I actually have a 5-year-old and twin 4-year-olds. And
we're the primary caretaker from the
I didn't even go there with it, but that's 100% true.
Not that Megan didn't do an incredible job. She did.
No, but that was just I just said, I have 3 kids 5 and under, twin 4-year-olds and a 5-year-old with the little shrugging emoji. And then he came back, and that's my favorite emoji for like, sorry, I don't know what you want me. And I figured, like, dude, just take the L. You know what I mean? Like, take the fact that you made a thoughtless comment, and I'll get into my actual issues. Like, it's funny, but I have an actual issue with it.
Yeah.
But then he doubled down on it, and he said, I have 3 under 5, as if my 5-year-old and twin 4-year-olds isn't enough.
They don't matter.
4, 2, and 12 and 11 months, and they all take turns being awake between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. So ... And
welcome to the club, sir.
And I was like, all right, I'm no longer going to like be combative with this gentleman, because like that's what
he's looking for a fight.
He is, and I'm like, there's just no. And so I just was like, oh man, you're really in the thick of it. I said, oh, you're in the thick of it, dude! Exclamation point. We had a 3-week stretch recently, which is what I'll talk about here with the process wise, where that was every night for us too when they were taking turns being sick. And then he never replied. But that was I'm like, just, hey, let's kill him with kindness.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry that you're dealing with that, man.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny when people come on and just assume the worst in other people, right? It was the thing that happened when I said, people said, look who's babysitting today. And I had a bunch of people in the comments be like, that never happened. I'm like, you're right. You're right. Like, of course.
You were following me and you were observing every conversation.
You totally caught me, man.
Yeah.
I'm in the car with my kids and I'm just going to tell a lie for the internet, just for clout, because that's what I had at the time with my 1,800 followers. That was what I really wanted to do was just gather attention, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing? But the thing that what really bothered me about it is the thing that bothers me in general. And it's the thing that I've been trying to really fight hard against. And I don't do it without fault by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the victim mentality of parenthood. And don't get me wrong, this is the hardest thing ever. And it's the conversation that Megan and I have had. And it's what our last episode was certainly about, which is, and it's been the theme of my life for the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is longer than that, but certainly the last 2 or 3 weeks, it feels like a lot of things have been clicking for me. Great. Which is, I feel like the clarity that I've gotten is like, this is meant to be hard and this is your trial. And I had lunch with our pastor recently, last week, and he gave me a verse which I had probably read before. I had definitely read before, but it was one that I probably glanced over. But it was something, I'm going to paraphrase it, but it was something to the effect of, because I don't have it memorized, but I should. It's in Jeremiah 12 if you want to look it up, so forgive me for butchering it. It's something to the effect of, like, if you haven't been able to run with men, how then will you run with horses? Essentially saying, like, you're training for bigger things. Like, think, and I talk about this all the time. Like, think about how hard you felt like life was in college.
Oh my God, I want to go back to those days.
But now you look at it and you're like, that you have no idea how good you have it, kid.
I spent a good amount of time yesterday actually reminiscing about college because my daughter is sick, and we're still staying at my in-laws because I hate my builder. So I gave her our room because we have a TV, and when you're sick, that's all you can do. And it was under Easter, so I'm like, you're not going outside. Normally I would get her outside because I feel like when you're sick, going outside actually helps you. So I just like, here, yep, watch whatever you watch. Watch 12 hours of Bluey. I don't care. But I took her room, which was smaller than my college dorm room, but not by much. And I was looking around. I was like, I spent so many hours in a room exactly this size thinking that I was a grown-up, thinking that I was an adult because I was living on my own in Boston, even though I was living in a dorm with 100 other girls. But I was like, this is nuts how different adulthood when you first start and adulthood when you're like in it really are. Like, it's, God, I wish I could go back and have the only stress be I have a paper and my printer's not working.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But at the time, you're like, this is so stressful. Or I talk
End of the
about,
world.
You remember how big a deal it was when, like, in high school, the person you liked asked somebody else to the dance or something like that, just devastating.
Yep. Life is not worth living anymore.
Yes. It's just, this is the worst. And you're like,
Matt Barron, if you're out there, I recovered. Just letting you know. If Carol's listening, she'll know. Matt Barron, I still love you.
That's awesome. It's this spot of, wow, this is the hardest thing in the world right now. And then you think about it now and you're like, that is easy. And it's you see it with parenting, with like how upset kids get over things, and you're like, this is not a big deal, dude.
Big deal.
But to them it is. Also, but the idea of if you can't run with men, like, how then will you run with horses, is the idea of, if you dropped 22-year-old Jeff into 35-year-old 34-year-old Jeff's version of life, the dude would get buried. Like, he'd leave. He would run.
It would be really funny though.
It would be a fun experiment, but like, the guy would run. And it's not as if I feel like I'm crushing it, but it is it is an appropriate level of challenge for the stage of life and the capability that I have at the moment. And it's hard, and we're trying to figure it out, but it's really difficult. It's really difficult, and there's so many things that feel like they're calling on me, and so it's hard. I 100% get that it is difficult, and that there are times where certain things feel impossible with kids, and certain things certainly are. You know, people will talk to us about traveling with our kids, and I'm like, nope, that feels impossible to me. Just with the stage that our kids are at, and what I feel like I'm capable of, that just feels too hard for what I'm able to do. And there are other people who do that and have great experiences with it. And so I know it's not objectively impossible, but I understand that it feels impossible. And certainly when you're in the thick of it, which 4, 2, and 11 months, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in it.
Oh, sorry.
Who is that? Is it are you muted right now?
Yeah. Nope.
What happened? I don't know what's happening. We're just going to keep going without Amy for a moment. So the idea is it is hard in this moment for him to navigate this. But when we play the victim and we use our kids as an excuse as to why we can't do things, then we abdicate the responsibility for our lives from ourselves, and we put it on them. Because it's not their fault. It's not their fault they exist. That's on you. Like, you took health. You knew how it worked. It's not that it happened by accident. Like, you knew what you were doing. Like, there are no such thing as like, oh, this kid was an accident. It's like, it might not have been on purpose, but it wasn't an accident. Like, you're not the Virgin Mary. Like, this... you knew it was at least possible.
Yeah, to some degree, it was kind of planned.
Yeah, it was
because that's a known outcome.
You knew it was at least a possibility. You know, you're not like Ross from Friends. Like, I have no empathy for Ross from Friends. Like, they should put that on the box. It's like, dude, nothing's 100%. It was always on the board that this was a potential outcome, and it's also not their fault that they're 2 or 3 or 4 or 11 months or newborn, or they're waking up in the middle of the night crying. Like, it's not their fault. It's not. They are just figuring it out in the same way that you're figuring it out.
This is their first time here too.
Their first time here too. But if you say, we can't do this, and again, Megan and I really worked hard to try not to do the can't thing, but just like, hey, we're not gonna do this. Like, we're choosing not to, like, recognizing that it's a choice. And again, we don't do this without exception, but like, hey, I'm not gonna travel with the kids. It's not that we can't, it's that I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I'm choosing not to, because I'm choosing, like, you pick your hard. It's not just sanity. I don't know, because I think that there's potential upside of that. I don't know. We have friends who are having another kid, or like, we have friends who they had 3 older kids. Their kids are like 11, 9, and 7, and then they now have a almost 2-year-old. And so when they got pregnant, the kids were 5, 7, and 9. It's like, you did it. They're all in school. Like, you have your life back. Like, what are you doing? And they opted for another way of teaching their older kids some responsibility and raising up this younger kid with them. And the older kids have been really awesome with the youngest, and kind of helped raise their younger son, and it's just been a really cool dynamic for them.
Yeah.
And so there's always a potential upside. You just choosing what it is that you're doing. We say this all the time, is that you get to choose. You can choose whatever you want, but you get to choose and be okay with the cost of that. Like, we're choosing not to travel with our kids, so the cost of that is the potential memories and the experiences, and them becoming better travelers earlier.
We chose
Whenever
to
we
have
do
one
travel,
child.
it's going to be hard.
Yeah. We chose to have one kid, knowing that it would be harder a lot of the time because she doesn't have a built-in playmate. So it means we're the playmates, which is great. But the flip side of that is we travel all the time, and we go international quite a bit. So our kid knows how to navigate the train system in Switzerland. Like, it's what you choose.
For sure. And so I have a problem with people who will take something that was meant for him.
Yeah.
Like, of all the people in the world,
he was the target
like,
audience.
That's the target audience. Like, dude, this was for you. Like, very clearly, just based on your comments, you could probably use 5 minutes in the morning to feel like a person, because you feel like your entire life is defined by these children. Your entire existence and your ability to do anything is defined by these kids, and you're a victim to your kids. And it's something that I think has become almost a problem now within the industry. So this is the next iteration of it, is, but remember, like, your kids aren't an excuse to not do something. They're the reason to do it. Like, this is the perfect example of, these kids are a reason to do it. If you're not taking care of yourself, then you're going to be worse off. You're going to be worse off. Like, that guy is so worse off that he's coming to a stranger's post on the internet and complaining about his kids. Like, that's how bad off he is. So I feel badly for him.
Totally.
That was like why I'm like, I'm not going to get in a fight with you, because I feel badly for you, because you feel just so buried by this. And so this has become the other bit of it, though, is that now, and I have been guilty of this on occasion, and I've said this to you lightheartedly, because you guys opted for one kid with Emerson. Or no, not Emerson.
Yes.
Oh my.
That's our kid's name.
Okay. I had a momentary, I was like, wait a second. Is that
No, it's okay. Name? Brain fog is real.
Just had a moment where I was like, what is her name? I just call her M all the time. But we had friends who had one daughter who was a week older than Levi. And then they've been trying to have a second. And they just had their second, just turned 1. So they have an almost 6-year-old, and then they have a 1-year-old now. But I was talking to my buddy, and he came and he's like, dude, I don't know. I was like, how has it been with 2? He's like, don't know how you did it. And I was like, I don't know either, man. Like, we just did it because we had to, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, it is a totally different game. And I made a lighthearted post a while back that going from 1 kid to 2 kids is not doubling. It's actually tripling, because you have one kid, you have the other kid, and then you have the relationship between the two, which is like another kid in and of itself. And so the dynamics are exponential as you have multiple kids.
That age difference, it's almost like you've gotten out of practice of the little stuff, because you haven't had to change a diaper in 4 years. You haven't had to feed them directly because they have use of their hands now. I don't think I could have done that with that big a difference. It's wild. Yeah.
But I said to him, or he kind of said it to me, he's like, oh, we were kind of playing parent a little bit with our one daughter, who
one
just
girl
is
easy.
one girl. He's like, we were kind of playing house. Like, she was a little bit like a lifelike doll.
Yep.
On
That's
occasion.
100% what it is.
And now they have a boy, and we have 2.
Different
they come
energy.
over to our house, and I'm like, dude, our 2 boys just beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
They are wild.
It's a very different energy than one single girl.
Last night, I'm just chasing all of them, and I'm just chucking the boys into the couch and wrestling with them, and it's just a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't mean to like gatekeep parenting, but I think obviously we see that the challenge level is different for
Mm-hmm.
different people.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have seen now it's become a popular thing for people to come on social media. And I saw somebody said this and I saved it because I thought it was funny and I might do it. And then I thought about it for a half a second. I was like, I'm not going to do this. He said, I mean this with all due disrespect, all the disrespect in the world. If you don't have kids, don't tell me how to do my workouts or do my macros or anything like that because you have no idea. Or like if your workouts don't look like this and it's a mom with kids on her back, then you can't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually totally disagree with that.
Interesting. Explain.
And I've thought about it because I might have agreed with it for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've thought about it longer and I disagree with it. I will say first the things that I agree with. And this is going to segue into what the last couple of weeks have been like for me with my fat loss phase. Anybody who is coming on and saying we all have the same 24 hours in a day, to those people I laugh and I say, no, we do not.
No, we do not.
Right? You are
different.
Like, you will say that we have, it is a different thing, particularly if you are a 23-year-old, like the furthest extent of this is the 23-year-old fitness influencer whose job it is to go to the gym, work out, meal prep, and post about it on social media and just be in shape and get people to use their supplement affiliate code.
Yeah.
That's their job. They don't have the same 24 hours in the day.
Certainly
as somebody who works a 9 to 5 and that guy who is likely getting woken up several times from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Or for us, for the last 3 weeks, we have had 2 nights where we have slept through the night. Somebody has woken up from sickness or, having an accident or whatever it is, or just having a nightmare. At least one kid a night, at least once, is up. And so we have not gotten an uninterrupted night of sleep besides 2 nights. And so I've said on here the importance of sleep and getting good sleep and how that makes everything in your life a lot easier. And particularly when it comes to your nutrition and your training and all of that. And it's like, yeah, you got to be getting 9 hours of sleep. And they're like, oh, I'm just not getting that. It's like, well, how's your sleep hygiene? It's like, I don't need a nighttime routine. Like the second that I let my body hit the bed, I fall asleep. I'm asleep within no more than 2 minutes of closing my eyes.
I really hate you. I
really
hate you. It takes me forever. And then I wake up at 1 a.m. It doesn't matter if I've had a very busy day or a very relaxed day the day before, if I drank all my water or did whatever my nighttime routine is, doesn't matter. Every single night at 1 a.m. I'm awake. Okay. It's not fun.
We are going to talk about your sleep on our next episode.
It's so terrible. But my father is the exact same way.
100%. And so there might be something there, but I will say that part of the reason why I am is because I've been up since 4:30.
Yeah.
And so by the time that 8:30, 9 o'clock rolls around, it's like, dude, I've lived three days right now. And also just the way that my life and my work is, it's pouring out all day. Like it's pouring from, like, kids are awake. I'm taking care of the kids. We drop off the kids. I come back. Usually I have a couple of hours where I'm doing work, which is back end stuff for my clients, like responding to their check-ins and sending messages. It's creating content. It's building my business. It's doing things like that, which is all output as well. And then I have meetings with my team, with Amy, or with the people who work for me. Then I have meetings with the OTM team, and then I have meetings with clients and students, and then I pick up my kids and we're on kid duty. And then it's 7:30 at night when everybody's asleep. We pick up the house, and Megan and I maybe have enough energy to watch one show. and that's the day. And so by the time I get to 8:30, I mean, I could fall asleep on the couch watching Bluey at 4 p.m. if they would let me. And it's just a pouring out sort of situation. And so it's not that I'm not doing the things, it's that I'm not able to get a 9-hour uninterrupted night of sleep. I'm just not able to with my circumstances. That's a literally I cannot. And I'm not blaming the kids necessarily. I'm going to do everything that I can in my control, which means I go to bed earlier than maybe I would like to, assuming that I'm going to get woken up. There's a reason I go to bed at 8:30, because 8:30 to 4:30 is 8 hours of sleep. I never get that. It likely is closer to 7 hours of sleep, because at some point in the middle of the night, I'm going to wake up and it's going to take me a bit to fall back to sleep. So if you come on and you try to tell me, 23-year-old fitness influencer Sally, with your QR code and your affiliate links, that we have the same 24 hours in the day, I vehemently disagree with that. And I also would come to the opinion that I think that I am a better coach for parents because I am a parent and I'm going through it, and I have some firsthand than I would be if I didn't have kids. I'm not saying that I'm a better coach than other people for parents because I'm a parent. I'm a better coach than I would be for parents because I don't have. But if we require people to have lived the experience of us in order to be able to help us, we will run out of people, because nobody has experienced everything that we have. If I can't coach women because I do not have ovaries, or I can't coach my clients with diabetes because I don't have diabetes, that is the same thing as telling a brain surgeon that he can't perform brain surgery unless he's had brain surgery. Or an oncologist that they can't help treat cancer unless they've had cancer. You wouldn't ever say that.
No, you would not.
To any of those people.
Because that's silly.
Because it's silly. Now, those people have not had personal experience with the feeling of it, but they've had experience of helping people with it. So experience is vital. Personal experience is not. And I'll go one step further, because the opposite is also where we get into danger. Because if we look for people, only people who have the same experience as us, and we use that as their authority for their ability to help us, then we are going to miss it. Because just because Mary from down the street lost 30 pounds postpartum and looks great doesn't mean she has a clue in the world on how to help you do it. Just because I raised 3 kids under 2, I will be the first to tell you, I have no clue how to raise. Like, I would be not a person to give you advice on how to raise your children. I'm if you asked me, I might give you, here's a couple of things that I did.
That worked for me and my kids.
But I don't know if this works. I don't know if it's right. It has not been tested on anybody besides me and my kids. And I have no authority on which to base this. This is just my own experience. And so the problem is when we look for authority in lived experience rather than professional experience.
I feel like that could also be a slippery slope, because if you're looking for someone with the same lived experience, you might fall even more into that victim mentality.
Yeah, I've seen that. Now, I have coached whether in group or one-on-one, coaches over 100 at this point. And I will tell you that many of the coaches that I work with are in some way, shape, or form similar to or have similar experiences to the people that they often help. Moms generally coach moms, dads generally coach dads, or somebody who likes jujitsu coaches people who like jujitsu, or whatever it is. That's not because they're like, I know now exactly how to do it. It's because it's likely where their passion is, because they're living it and they're seeing so many other people struggle with it, and they have a heart for helping people with that. But it's not required. Some of the best coaches for women that I know are men. And I also know one of the leading authorities on men's health in the North America, I'll say at least, but arguably in the world. And this would be almost universally accepted among knowledgeable fitness people. Her name is Allie Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
She's been published in Men's Health. Like, she is brilliant. And she just trains all dudes.
Has the experience to back it up.
Because she has the experience and the knowledge and the clinical knowledge and all of this, is that she's an authority on it because she's done it. I coach more women than I do men.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is because of I know several male coaches who only coach females. And so if you're gonna play the victim to your circumstances, or say that the only person who could possibly understand my circumstances is the person who's living in it, like this guy, like, you could never understand my circumstances unless you have a 4, a 2, and an 11-month-old. Even though I do have some similar experiences, that shows that you are not actually trying to be helped. Yeah. So if you're in a spot where you don't want to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard reality. You don't want to change. You don't want your life to look different. You're okay with it being where it is. And you might not actually be okay with it, but your actions are saying you're okay with it. And so if you're not okay with it, you need to go and have some help. Now, I will say, as somebody who has been going through the last few weeks, and you asked, like, hey, how's your fat loss phase going? It has not gone great. Hasn't been particularly awful, but has not been great. I have done 4 out of the 7 scheduled workouts that I've had. That's not great.
It's not awesome. It's better than none, but it's not.
It's better than none.
It's not
awesome. No. Right. I have had a much lower step count than I was aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
If I looked at, well, that again, that's a circumstance, certainly. But I've had just as many days under 8,000 as I've had over 8,000, and I've been shooting for higher than that. And I've had some days where it's been, better. Generally speaking, I've had all but one day I've hit the 7,000 step mark, which is my bare minimum. And generally speaking, I've been closer to 7,500, 8,000 or above, but I haven't been crushing it with my steps. My nutrition has been overall solid, though I've had a couple of things that I would have planned to do anyway and chose to do. There was maybe one thing that I ate that I was like, I probably could have opted out for. It was chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant when I went to get margaritas.
You can't opt out of that. Those are required.
And I'm not a chip guy, but chips and salsa at Barrio is so good.
Oh, Barrio.
It's so good. And so now I only had one taco in that scenario, but
impressive.
because I had plenty of chips. But it was
4 chips is 1 taco. Like,
it was
shell.
yeah, it was a significant amount, there. And so overall, I think the nutrition's been fine, not exceptional, but fine. And I've seen progress amidst that. Not oodles and oodles progress, but the high water mark, or my starting weight was the 181.2. It bumped all the way up to 182 after like a poor night's sleep. The low was 178.6 so far that I've had. And so that's whatever, almost 3 pounds. And it's been just 1, 2, is that 2 weeks? Is that right?
I feel like it started.
It's just over 2
ago.
weeks. Yeah, just over 2 weeks. And so it's not horrible, certainly, but it's not been great. And I will say that a significant portion of the reasons why, and these are reasons, not excuses, I haven't been moving as much or doing my workouts as much has been because I've had really poor sleep. Because my kids have been waking up. We had sick kids in the midst of this and all of that. And so I was waking up. And so it was often that my last kid, whoever was the last one to wake up, would be at like 3 a.m. And so I would wake up, and then by the time I got them settled, I'd get in bed. It'd be like 3:30. And by the time I actually get myself back to sleep again, my alarm basically goes off. And so then it was just really hard. Where you fall asleep, like when you wake up, where you fall asleep in your cycle, in your REM cycle, and how groggy you are. Depends on where in your cycle of sleep you wake up. Like I always used to, when we used to wake up with the kids to do feedings, I would always stay up through the like 11 o'clock, or even I would stay up with Levi. I stayed up to the 1 o'clock feeding. I would stay up until 1, because if I went to bed after 10 and then had to wake up at 1, I was so tired because I was only 3 hours into sleep, and it would take me forever to fall back asleep. But if I stayed up until 1 and then I could sleep through the 4 a.m. one and then wake up at 7 for the 7 a.m. feeding, that 6-hour stretch was better for me, even though I got less overall sleep than, or 5 hours of sleep by the time, between the time I fell asleep and I woke up. I would do better with that. And so waking up at 4:30, it would take me 45 minutes to peel myself out of bed. And so that was my workout window. And I'm not particularly proud of it, but I was really struggling to get myself out of bed during that. And then that was also feeding into my exhaustion throughout the day, because an object in motion stays in motion. I wasn't particularly moving early in the day. And so then I was struggling to get myself moving throughout the day. And also we had a lot of odd interruptions to the schedule during those couple of weeks. Kids being homesick, school day, like days off from school that we had. There was a bunch of weirdness to the schedule too, where it wasn't as if I could get into a rhythm with, okay, I go on a lunch walk. It was also really cold and the snow was everywhere and all of those kinds of things. But all of those are reasons, but I still made choices because I was perfectly capable of doing more. It just would have been harder. And I opted to not do as much of the hard. I gave in to some of the hard to this point. Not all of it, but some of it. I even with the best systems, I still needed to execute. And so I haven't seen a ton of that. And so, again, am I going to use the kids as an excuse? No, I'm not. Am I going to say that they're a reason and then I have to readjust my expectations and also my process as a result of the circumstances I have in my life? Absolutely, I am. Absolutely. Because listen, if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I wouldn't need to.
You wouldn't need to.
I could totally, I could shift my whole day around. I could wake up at 6 and do the whole same routine, and I wouldn't have to do drop-offs, and I could start my work day, and I could stay up later, and all kinds of things would be different if I didn't have kids. But I do. And so I have to make other choices because of the circumstances. And I'm not a victim to those circumstances. They're my reality. And I need to, instead of feeling badly for myself, take it as the opportunity to step in and recognize that that's the very reason I have to do it. And I say this to parents all the time. And I've said this on the podcast before. There are certainly moments where I think about the road not traveled. What would it look like if we didn't have 3 kids? If we didn't have any kids? Like, what would it look like if I had started my training career in college and I didn't go teach for 5 years? And what might have happened? And if I go all the way there, I mean, my life doesn't exist the way that it does if I don't go into teaching. Because I don't meet Megan.
Right, because she was in the teaching program.
I'm not me without her. My business, I don't think, exists without Megan. I would have given up. I certainly wouldn't have been willing to leave whatever safe, comfortable job I had to go and do it. I wouldn't have kept going after I failed so many times. With my kids, I don't know if I would have wanted to do it. I might have stayed on the gym floor because it would have been more comfortable, but I didn't want to stay on the gym floor because 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. is when everybody wants to work out. And that's not when I want to be in the gym because I want to be around my kids. And I would have done other things that would have been comfortable. I think about where my training might be if I didn't have kids, where our finances might be if we didn't have kids. We wouldn't have this house if we didn't have kids. We wouldn't have forced ourselves to get into a house. With how crazy the market was then, we would have never done it.
Yeah.
We would have never done it. But that it's where we are. And so it's very easy to be like, think about all the ways that this makes it harder. And it does. And we can own the fact that it's harder. But just because it's harder doesn't mean it's not better. When you think about your life in college, and I'll say this to a lot of folks, and if you're in this spot, forgive me, but if you want to go back to college, I don't get it. You couldn't pay me to go back. I'd go back for like a week or two, just to like have the freedom of no responsibility and play adult and whatever it is and be able to hang out.
Walk down Lansdowne Street in miniskirt and heels in this much snow because, don't want to have to check a coat. Why would I check a coat at Club Karma, which is long since closed?
Those are not the best days of your life.
Oh.
Now, certainly these are better, but they're also way harder. Like, that's what we talked about. It is so much harder, but that doesn't mean it's not better. Because the hard is actually what makes it good. It's what makes it worth it. It's the reason. It's not the excuse. Your kids are not the excuse to not do something. They're the reason that you do it. Because I had a thought. Give me 10 seconds to get it back.
Got it.
Not coming back. I think we often get into the spot where we think that, because something's hard, that means that we shouldn't do it. And when we change that perspective to, this is me learning to run with men, because someday I'm going to run with horses. And wouldn't it be cool to run with horses? Like, I want to be able to do that next thing. And so this hard is actually what's equipping me for the next thing. And if I just stay exactly where I'm at, I'm going to get exactly what I've always gotten.
Yeah, things might be harder, but the rewards are so much greater.
Yeah, we play with real live ammunition here. You know, it's the risk reward conversation. It's the hard reward conversation. The reason why some people make so much more money than other people is because it's directly related to the level of hard of the problem that they solve.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want big reward, solve big problems.
Hmm.
Solve big problems. Like, parents, it's hard. I've coached people who don't have kids. And in some ways it's easier, and in other ways it's harder, because, like, what is it costing them to not win?
Right.
And what do they get when they win? It might not be the same level. But when I get a parent like Amy who messages me after her trip to, is it Portugal?
Portugal.
It was like, I went swimming.
Mm-hmm. And it was awesome.
That's the best.
Mm-hmm.
There's no win that, yeah, maybe they can, but like, that's as good a win as there possibly can be.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because it was harder. It was because it was harder. There's a reason why we celebrate the underdog. We just had the Olympics. We celebrate the underdog because it was so hard. We know how hard they worked for it. That makes it so much sweeter. The U.S. hockey team beat Canada and they won the gold. And it was the first time that the U.S. won gold in hockey since Miracle on Ice. Did you ever watch Miracle?
Of course I did. To clarify, it was the first time U.S. men's hockey has won gold since Miracle on Ice. Women's hockey has done it.
Forgive me. Yes, I meant men's hockey. It's the first time men's hockey won since the Miracle on Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Why was the Miracle on Ice so cool?
God, it was a great movie.
It was so good. I watched it. I watched it before the Olympics started.
It's so good.
It's so good. Like,
the actor that plays the goalie. Oh my God, I love him.
Yeah, I can do that entire speech. By the way,
someday I'm going to make you do that.
Yeah. Great moments are born from great opportunity. Yeah. I can do the whole thing.
Yeah, but that was back when it was just college kids playing. It wasn't. Yeah. Like, now it's pro athletes playing on that team.
But that quote, and this is where we'll finish. That quote sums up this entire thing. Great moments are born from great opportunity. Instead of thinking of your circumstances as reasons why you can't, being a victim to your circumstances as the obstacle to your goal, what if you thought of them as your opportunity? And how much sweeter will the moment be when you win? I don't know if that went in the direction that we thought it might, but that was my, at least, heads. We touched on all the things today. So I hope it was valuable for you. For listening, thank you. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, do all of the things that you like, rate, subscribe, share with a friend. And again, if you are looking to navigate those circumstances, because it is hard, this is your great opportunity to get a great moment. Would love to work with you. Just DM me parent and we'll get started. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you next time. This has been the Fit Parent Podcast.